Yeah, kia ora. It's a beautiful sunny day here, and I've just checked the river flows, and the Waimakariri is dropping quite nicely, so it should be nicely fishable today. So my daughter has COVID, so there goes the plan of doing something with the four of us. So my son suggested we go fishing. Then he suggested we take the boat. So I thought, hey, here's a chance for a video. Pre-launch, or not pre-launch, just inspection before we go, and what safety equipment do I carry on my small inflatable boat, or SIB. Let's have a look. This is the beast here, a 3.8 meter West shell. As far as I can tell, all these inflatable boats all look the same, just variations in the way the handles at the front are done. But yeah, let's have a look. So she's got a 15 horse Merc. It's been laid in trailers for years as a sort of hack. She hasn't done many hours, but yeah, as a result she's a bit scratched up, but she starts first time every time. That's all I ask. What I've done this morning is I've gone through and put a bit of air in the pontoons. I store this boat three quarters inflated on the trailer, so the pontoons are all nice and firm, so that's all good. I haven't run the motor today. I last ran it 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Today's Sunday. I last ran it on Friday, so Friday night I came home and flushed it and ran it with the fuel line disconnected till the carb was cleared. She should start first time. I've gone through and checked all my tyres. They're all good. Both tyres are inflated, and it doesn't appear to be anything wrong there. All the wheel nuts are there. I've checked my trailer linkage is secure. Yeah, so everything is good there. So so the pre-launch or pre-launch check is good. I'll go over the boat again before we launch. If any of you have done your Coast Guard Day Skippers course, you know the acronym PASSBF, PASS-BF. It talks about what gear you need on the boat. PFDs, anchor, chain and warp, signalling device, secondary propulsion, a bailer, and some sort of fire extinguisher and fuel. Yeah, I'll talk about those things in a minute. I don't carry a fire extinguisher, but I'll explain why very soon. PFDs, I carry 2 on board because it's me and my son. So we will be wearing these. New Zealand laws, if the boat's under 6 meters and underway, you need to be wearing a life jacket. So my one is an inflatable. I'll probably end up getting my son one next time they're on sale. For those of you who are unfamiliar with them, they take up very little room on you, and all you do is pull the cord to inflate it. This green indicator shows that the gas bottle is intact. I can buy replacement bottles if I need to set it off. My son's wearing a vest today. It's a good snug fit on him. It doesn't ride up over his shoulders. PFDs or life jackets have to be the right size. I've chosen a vest today instead of a full life jacket with a collar. We're only going to be travelling 5 knots in the river system we're in. That's all we're allowed to travel by law. So he won't be coming off fast enough to bump his head and potentially knock himself out. So that will be fine, and it's also nice and comfortable for him on a hot sunny day fishing without it chafing his neck and so on. So PFDs. A, anchor, chain and warp. Okay, so the anchor I'll be using today is this sand anchor. The riverbed at the lower Waimakariri is a sandy bottom. Got my chain about 3 meters attached to the line, and then there's 30 meters of line there. So that's my anchor, chain and warp sorted. Also in this box I carry a grapnel When we're up at Kaikoura or other places where it's a bit rocky, we'll use the grapnel anchor instead. Signalling equipment, what have we got? Well, to start with, we've got a marine VHF radio that will be on my life jacket, but it's there for now. It's fully charged, ready to go. It's been sitting on the charger all night. Signalling device. Other signalling equipment that we have is an EPIRB, Emergency Position Indicating Radio Beacon, EPIRB. This thing here, all I need to do is flick this cover back, the aerial pops up, push the button, and it's sending out a signal saying, heck, I'm in trouble, this is my location, can you please send a helicopter? The Rescue Coordination Centre will contact my wife and make sure they know how many people are on the boat and everything, which Coast Guard will know because I will have done a trip report on the marine radio before I launch. S, signalling device. The second S is secondary propulsion. Now this boat has it's quite small, so there's no room for an auxiliary motor there, so what we have instead is oars. So our secondary propulsion, our second S, is oars. Okay, and F, fire extinguishers and fuel. Okay, I don't carry a fire extinguisher on this boat. Oh, I skipped one. I skipped the B. I skipped the baler. There's my baler, just a wee bucket. The inflatable boats, they stay inflated pretty well, and if they're not inflated, they're not floating, so bailing's a bit of a moot on this one. You can fill them with water and they'll stay afloat. F, fire extinguishers and fuel. I don't carry a fire extinguisher on this boat. The reason being is it's made of plastic. If it catches fire, it's not floating anyway. Okay, so a fire extinguisher for me is a little bit redundant on this vessel. Bigger boats, I would recommend fire extinguishers in a couple of locations. We don't smoke, so if there is a fire, it's going to start in the engine, and all I can really suggest is shutting it off and disconnecting the fuel. Right, talking about fuel. 25 litres there, that's 25 litres of 50:1 two-stroke mix. I use 96, I always think it's best with an outboard to give it the best you can. 50:1 and a good quality two-stroke oil. Okay, so the recommendation for fuel is 1/3 to get there, 1/3 to get back, and 1/3 in reserve. This boat on full throttle, experience is showing that burns 5 litres of fuel an hour. So there's 5 hours of fuel there. We're travelling about 2 kilometres at 5 knots and 2 kilometres back. We'll be lucky if we burn 1/4 of a litre of fuel, so we've got plenty of fuel. So just a couple of other tips before you go out. Put your trip report out to Coast Guard New Zealand. Channel 63 is the local repeater channel here in Canterbury. Check the Coast Guard website to see where your local channel is, and cancel it when you get home. Yeah, so I may do a video later on about anchoring, so keep watching. But anyway, have a good day, and we'll see you on the water. Bye. And here she is, all loaded up, ready to go. I'll put the cover on and lift the motor up just before we leave. But from my earlier video, the PASSBF gear, PFDs will be worn, but they're in here for now. Anchor chain and warp, secondary propulsion, signalling equipment, there's a radio in there, my phone, EPIRB, baler, fuel, far too much fuel, but that's alright. So all ready to go. We also have a pump, got a chili bin for our fish, a bait snifter. We'll just add the rods there in the vehicle. So yeah, ready to go. What we'll do is we'll launch here in about an hour and catch some fish. Well, here we are at the mouth of the Waimakariri River. Myself and Alex the Kiwi. When I checked the river report this morning, the flows look pretty good, but she's come down a bit dirty. We've decided to have a fish anyway. Our mate on his jet ski. Yeah, still lots of people fishing here. When we went through Macintosh's, there was a guy playing a fish. I think the bait fishermen will do well, and us lure fishermen might not do as well. But anyway, we're here. Yeah, we'll keep you posted when Alex hooks a fish. Yeah, so the problem is when the river gets dirty is Kahawai hunt by taste / smell and visually. So yeah, we're fishing with lures, so they can't see the lures as well as they can smell or taste the bait. So the majority of the fish caught down here today will be caught on lures and bait. But the other thing is Kahawai don't like having silt in their gills, and you know, she's pretty dirty, so she's only going to get dirtier. We're going to give it another half hour. There was a guy right down there in the surf in the white t-shirt. He's just pulled a fish in, but yeah, there's not a lot going on. So the rod and reel I'm using is the same one I talked about in an earlier video. Just a wee Shimano Bantam Crestfire 100. I always thought it was a 200. Shivers 100. Wee Shimano Katana rod, and just a wee blue lure. 10-pound braid. Away we go. But there's still people out and about on the river. It's still got a bit of traffic on here, which is good to see. I better carry on fishing. I'm not going to get anything talking to you fellas, eh? Well, we're heading home. The river was coming down. There was quite a bit of debris coming down. We were picking up weed and sticks and stuff every cast. So we're heading back, but we're just going to have a wee explore down a couple of wee side streams while we're at it. So we've got the yacht club here, and we're just going to go up this stream for a bit. So our speed is 4 knots, which is good. We're allowed to do 5 knots through here, but we won't go any faster than this because we don't want to upset the locals. And yeah, we'll just see what we can see. Alex is doing a good job on the helm. He's getting quite good at driving this thing, making me redundant. Just got to get him driving the truck and we'll be sorted. Submarine, yep. We're going to head home. No fish today, but good adventure. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Ka kite.